Welcome to Unpacked, real conversations for diplomatic partners who are ready to unpack more than just boxes. This is the space for the brave questions, the messy middles, and the quiet decision to stop shrinking and start showing up fully. We talk identity, purpose, transitions, and what it really takes to feel at home in a life that's always moving. Because you've always been more than just the label, and this is where we say it out loud. Hi, I'm Emma, and I'm with my co-host Anna. Hello, and welcome back to Unpacked. We are on our 7th episode, and I'm with my lovely Anna. How are you doing, Anna?
Hi, everyone. Hi, Emma. Hi, everyone. I'm doing great. I love recording our episodes, really. For me, it's always the highlight of our week, or for my week.
Oh, it's the exact same with me. I always look forward to it. I even look forward to our little pre-podcast catch-ups as well, which is nice. So, what have you been up to for the last couple of weeks, Anna? I feel like it's been ages since I've seen you.
It has been ages. Well, the summer is over. My kids have started school, and if you're a mom, for you, probably like for me, you measure your summers in school holidays. So we've been busy getting the kids ready for school, and it was really wonderful to have my first solo cup of coffee on Monday, I have to admit.
Yes, I bet it was nice, peace and quiet, and
Peace and quiet. It's so good to have a clean kitchen for the whole day because, when you have
yes.
teenagers at home, they're constantly eating or snacking and they're always checking the fridge and yeah, wanting more food.
Yeah, that sounds like me. I'm always wanting more food. I'm with my parents, and I think they're thinking, "What is she eating again?" So yeah, I'm now having my adult life in my parents' home because we've been in the UK for the last couple of weeks on holiday, which has been really nice. We've just been seeing family. We went to Scotland, which was beautiful, and I've decided to extend my trip a little bit, and partly. If anyone's part of my email community, they'll know I had a really bad week the week that I left Nairobi. There's just a few things that happened in that week. Do you know when something just feels like it's unsettled you a little bit? And I think the culture, the safety, you get told about everything in these security and safety briefings, right? Everything that possibly can go wrong, and in that first few weeks, you're always on like hypervigilance, but then you get into a bit more of a settled routine, and then you kind of think, oh, it's not so bad, everything's okay. And there was a little incident whilst I was driving, and I was completely fine. I wasn't involved in it at all, but I just witnessed something whilst I was driving, and it shook me, and I was like, oh my goodness, you just like you get this shock that. Yeah, this isn't what I'm not used to this. This isn't normal for me, and yeah, it completely shook me. And I just decided that I was like, I think I need a little bit of a longer break. I think I need to fill my energy back up. And the beauty of being able to work with anywhere with Wi-Fi is a dream. So yeah, I just decided to extend and just have a little bit more time with my mum and dad, which is very nice. And hoping to get back to Nairobi soon. And I'm already feeling, which is nice, so much more better and more positive and ready to go back. And I think it's what's interesting, isn't it, that, and I don't know whether you've ever had this, but in every country I've lived in, whether this is because I'm a teacher as well and I work in 6 or 8 week blocks, at the end of 6 or 8 weeks, I feel like I'm really ready to have a reset and a break. And I need to get out of the country, and then I feel better, and then I can go back. Do you get that? Or is it just me?
I don't know. That's an interesting one. Maybe it's a bit of both. But I remember during our first posting in Shanghai, we were instructed you really have to leave the country exactly, more or less every 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Like at least every 3 months, you have to go out. You have to recharge your energy, your inner battery, and only then you go back because. Depending, I think some countries are more taxing or more challenging than others. Probably if you were posted to Paris, I don't know, to France, I think you would not have this issue. But
No, I think I would be
fine. I do have my Beirut and Lebanon moments at times. And since I'm driving here, it's like, whoa, yes, oh, it's something. It's like, really? Guys, come on. I think it's like, and I love the place. Like it's nothing against the country, but I
Yeah.
think sometimes it's just it gets to you. I call it, you have your, I don't know, Beirut or Nairobi moment or whatever moment. We all
Yeah.
have them. And the question is then, how do you self-regulate? What do you do?
Yeah.
You know?
And I think it is just like, this is, I just need a break. And it can, I mean, it can be, and it, it could very well be a break out of the city. For me, if we
Exactly.
went even to the coast in Kenya, that would just, that would probably top me up wonderfully, and I would be very happy. Um, but yeah, it just so
Exactly.
happened that we already had a holiday to the UK booked,
It's
which was
wonderful.
nice.
So, being back to your parents' house, being looked after.
Yes,
How
very
was
looked
that?
after. And
Fantastic. Enjoy that.
mum will be listening, as she always does. So yes, I'm loving all of the mum food. I'm
Yay!
loving being looked after and all the TLC. So yes, very, very lucky.
Amazing. Enjoy that.
Yes, very much so. And I guess, Anna, we've talked about last time starting the like our little mini topic or mini series on dependency.
Hmm.
And if we really think about this time of year, when summer is ending and we're getting that back to school energy, aren't we? I think whether you've got children, whether you haven't got children, you're more than likely have done some travel over the summer, and now it really feels as if September can really feel like a natural reset point, and sometimes even more than January. And I find this a really, really important time for partners, particularly because we have this settling back into routines and putting everyone else's needs first. So if you have got children, it's, making sure that they're in school and they're structured, and then planning all of your after school curricular clubs and where I can go and where. And if you haven't got children, you're really focusing on, okay, have we got the food in for the week? Where's my partner going to work? Have I got, what's happening? So I think what we often do, and we do this all the time, don't we, as partners, and we've talked about this in our invisible load episode, we as partners carry all of that mental planning and have all of that energy. So it's a really good time for us to take a little pause and start to put ourselves first a little bit where we can, and start to build upon that independence. What do you think?
Absolutely. Actually, the ball, essential summer CEO.
Yes.
Juggling, planning, organizing, packing, and obviously when you have kids, you're really busy. And now I think I agree with you, Amma, when you said autumn. It's a new season, right? It's change of seasons. Kids are back to school, or you're back to the country where you're posted. I think now, if you're looking for the perfect time to start something different, create a new
Yes.
routine, sort yourself out, now is the time, because I would say autumn is the new year. It's even better because we all know what happens towards December, sorry. Again, family, again, travel, again, kids, or other things in the spotlight. Now it's a time to sit down and take care of you and have
Yes.
a new routine. So let's talk about that.
Yes. So I would say the first thing, and I'm going to bring back what we talked about last week,
Hmm.
is this communication, and use this as a first point for a communication reset. So use this time to sit down with your partner, look at the family calendars, and give out those roles and expectations. And by doing so, actually, really sitting down and looking at the list of what you're currently carrying and try to delegate those things. I don't know whether you've ever heard of this method, and I don't know too much about it, but I know it exists and I know a little bit. Have you ever heard of the fair play method?
No, tell
No.
me more.
So the fair play method, as far as I know, is basically a way of navigating and sharing out key responsibilities. So I've seen that they have a pack of cards with, even things like organising dentist trips for the children,
Hmm.
organising shoes or parties, and they have this big cards, and then you can actually sit down and go, I'll be in charge of that and I'll be in charge of that.
Oh, how
So
cool is
yeah,
that?
it's really cool. So even things like that, even if you have children, don't have children, if you have a list of everything that you're currently managing, that mental load, it can be really great to actually say, look at my massive list, it's this big, and start
Exactly.
to navigate that out.
I agree with you. I think probably before you sit down with anyone, you sit down with yourself and make a list.
Yes.
Maybe you have it already. Okay, if you have it already and you know exactly what you're doing and when and how and so on, then you can share. But I think since it's the start of the school year, I don't think all the extracurricular activities are already in place. So there'll be some movement,
Yes.
right? What the kids are going to do and how it's going to fit with your schedule. But I think before, for me, it's always like this is your life and you're the center of your universe. That's it. So maybe start by once the kids on the school bus or you drop them off there or whatever, when you have your first solo cup of coffee or second or third one, you sit down with a piece of paper and a pen and just really like, what would you like this new season, well, or the next 4 months be about for
Yes.
you? Like, where is your vision? Where are you in this whole picture? What would you like to do? How would you like to feel? Like, what's happening with you,
And have like
right?
yeah, that's what I really love that idea. I love the fact that we could have an intention for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and actually block that set of time because, like you say, clubs and well, all routines change, don't they? They change throughout the year. So I think a lot of people we beat ourselves up, don't we? If we say that, oh, I want to do this or this, and you have a set time, and we can become so fixated that that is the specific time that I have to do this activity for myself, that we can become so stressed if that then changes. Whereas actually, if we can look at the bigger picture and go, no, no, my intention is that I want to um, meditate, or I want to go and spend time with my friends, or I want to do this, or I want to make time for this hobby, that's all great. Those times can be flexible. So I think
Hmm.
just not getting too fixated on the specific moments, but just thinking about the general picture and that intention behind what you're doing can actually be very, very freeing, can't it?
Exactly, absolutely, because we don't want to put ourselves in a position where we feel so much pressure, like, you know, coming short if you don't do it by that day. You know, if you're very rigid with our schedule. I was actually thinking, listening to you, Emma, how about we kind of, yes, it's wonderful to have goals, but how about, I think, if you reframe and instead of setting goals, you set standards, right? And it's because goal, let's say, I don't know, let's say if I want to lose 5 kilograms by, I don't know, the 1st of October. I'm just saying something
Yeah.
out loud. There is a lot of rigidity and a lot of pressure in there. But if you say, like, I'm the person and my new standard is I'm the person who exercises every day, or I'm the person who eats healthily. You know what I mean? I think what you said, I love it. It's intention. You definitely have to be
Yes.
intentional. But also maybe just see what are the standards, because I think people say what we have in life is just these are our standards. That's it.
Yeah.
That's what we're putting up with. And how can we look at it slightly different? Like, you know, what are my standards? Like, you know, if I want to be fulfilled, then I'm a fulfilled person. That's my standard. You know, what do I do? Is it volunteer work, or am I working on my CV, or how do I fulfill myself beyond the family and just being a mom, let's say? The same with your health, the same with, I think, just listening to you gave me this idea. How about standards instead of
Yeah.
goals?
And I mean, you're now sparking my ideas. And even if it's the self talk, isn't it? And what we say about ourselves. So I think the standards bit there, that's really amazing. And it's like the clear expectations and the clear things that we say out loud. But if we take a step back before that, it could even be if you just put on like a blank piece of paper, I am, and then you fill out all of those sentences and see what you say about yourself. Do you say I am good enough? Do you say I'm not good enough? Do you say I am confident? Do you say I'm an organized
Mm.
person? Do you say I'm disorganized? Do you say I'm lazy? What are all those things that are constantly the narrative in your self talk is going round and round and round again? And then when you've got all of that on a paper, you've literally just brain dumped the whole thing. You go, okay, which ones are the ones I actually want to keep? And
Yeah,
which ones are the new ones that I want to put in?
exactly.
And then how can I then make my standards above that? And I think those are the things that, I mean, I speak to people all of the time, and I've got this really bad habit of, it's a bad habit, I don't know. And when I'm listening to people, I hear the, oh, I am, this, or I'm not good at this, or I'm like, oh, you're limiting yourself so much. So if we can really understand those are the stories, and instead of saying I am, there are times when I feel lazy. Doesn't mean I am lazy. So if we can separate those two things and change that narrative, honestly, I cannot even tell you, even practicing that in my own life, saying I'm feeling anxious rather than I am anxious, it's so much more empowering than saying I am an anxious person, because that bit gets built, and the subconscious is building up, and it builds up, and it becomes the whole narrative that decides what you can and you can't do in your life.
Absolutely, because that's your identity. It becomes your identity, and that's the strongest
Yes.
force, right? You have to stay consistent with how you define yourself.
Yeah.
So once you define yourself as a loser or someone who is bad at this or not enough, that's it. You put yourself in this tiny, tiny box like that, and you kind of have to stay consistent. And it sucks.
Yeah.
It
Maybe
doesn't
we
feel good.
maybe we can start changing. I am a trailing spouse, are we?
No, I'm a
No.
trailblazing spouse. I am amazing. I am a high achiever. I can do anything I put my mind onto. And I think this empowerment and upliftment, it starts from within. Obviously, it's wonderful when you hear it, but really, unless you feel it viscerally, like this is when you know, hey, I actually can, because I think like your mind, your mental space can be either a prison or a palace. And your thoughts, if are full of fear, of guilt, of shame, those are just the guards and the bars who keep you there. But you are the boss. Really, you can just change this narrative, and I think that's the work ultimately. Emma, you and I do, right, as
Oh,
as coaches,
yes.
but also offering people this um, opportunity, even through our podcast, just to hear that you guys are amazing, and you're not alone. Even you, if you feel all of that, if at times like you're not enough. But yes, we're just trying to help, how to reframe things and empower you to actually. So let's go back to our routine conversation.
Yeah.
If you're looking for the perfect time, well, this time will never arrive. But second best time, I'd say that's now. That's early
Yes.
September. Let's do that. So, and Emma, you were sharing with me there is this cool technique that you can, the habit stacking. Tell us more about it.
Yes. So if anyone has read the Atomic Habits, James Clear, he talks a lot about if you want to build in a habit into your new routine. So let's say I want to start meditating. So what I would do as I decide, I want to meditate in the mornings, I want to do it every morning. So I look at what's already there. What are my automatic behaviors? What do I already do? So I get up, I brush my teeth, I wash my face, I eat my breakfast, I get on with my day. If I'm feeling particularly lazy, I'll sit on the couch and watch TV. If I'm feeling particularly motivated, maybe I go and do some exercise. So I look at that routine and I think, okay, we've got that. That's automatic. I don't even think anything about that. So what I want to do, if I decided to put the meditation, and it would make sense to do it after I've eaten my breakfast. That's kind of what our brain feels like is the normal and natural thing, because once you start the first set of behaviors, the automatic behaviors run into one after the other.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, yeah, I'll do it after I've eaten my breakfast. Well, that's the worst tactic to possibly ever use, because when you get to that point and you've eaten your breakfast, you've done, it's like, oh, well, now I've got choice. I can make a choice. I've got this decision. So we want to remove that decision, get rid of that, make it into the automatic. So the best way to do it is to make it a habit sandwich and put it somewhere in the middle of where you've already got your routine. So for me, it's like I get up, brush my teeth, wash my face, meditate, eat breakfast. So once I've got that and it'll feel weird. It's like you've created this new rule. It's like, oh, I can't eat breakfast until I've meditated. And then once you've done that, practice that over and over again, it'll just become unconscious. It's already in your automatic behavior pattern, and you've got it. Which is an amazing technique, and I've used it over and over and over again to try different things. And I've always had so much more success doing it that way rather than adding it in at some point in my day.
Exactly, because you're setting yourself up for success, right? Because as you say, it's already, once it becomes automatic, you don't even need to think about it. It's your body will take you there to the to the cushion, right? And put you down and you meditate. And I was just thinking also that, like, if you say, but I don't have a routine, or my routine is always changing. Well, good news or bad news, that's a routine. Not
Yes.
every routine is routine. Like, some of routines are good, some are bad, and that's again how to become more intentional about the routine you actually want to have in your life. And then, as Emma said, I think that's a brilliant tip to try and put it in between those things you do already automatically. And there's another thing, the more you start doing it, the more you reinforce the so-called confidence competence loop,
Yeah.
right? Because you've done something that you promised yourself you would do. Your brain says, hey, Emma really meant it and she did it. Oh my God, she followed through. Oh, I can do that. And then you are more likely to do it again, because a lot of us fail if we give ourselves, we promise something or set a goal or say, well, I'm going to do that. And if I don't do that, I'm kind of feeding my brain rubbish data. It will remember Emma said, but she didn't do, or I don't know, whoever said and didn't do. And it's really bad for our self confidence, self esteem, because ultimately we're signaling to ourselves, I don't mean what I say, and I
Yes.
cannot trust myself. And it's the most awful feeling you can have.
And then it gets to the point, doesn't it, where you go, oh, what's the point of even trying? Because I've already,
Exactly.
every time I say that I'm going to do it, I'm never going to do it. So there's no point in trying. And that's when we go down the demotivated, feeling like a victim, helpless. And
Exactly.
there's this amazing theory in positive psychology, two amazing theories actually I'd love to talk about. The first one that links to this one is this idea of learned helplessness. So this concept is all about the fact that we can be put into a situation and we basically learn the helplessness, and they've proved that you can learn to be hopeful too. So the best way to describe this, if you think about a poor little baby elephant that's chained against,
Yeah.
chained
I,
up, and
I know the
they
one.
do
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
and eventually they grow and they're actually big enough and strong enough to pull the chain out the ground, but they don't do it because they're
Exactly.
so used to being stationary.
Yeah.
So it's this idea that we can be constrained by our beliefs, our identities, our routines, and we can never break free from that unless we start to tell ourselves a different story.
Yeah.
And then the positive aspect of this, which I really love, this confidence competence loop, because there's a theory called the broaden and build theory,
Hmm.
and this theory is about, if you imagine the opposite, you have a vicious downward spiral. Everyone knows about the downward spiral and we hit rock bottom. The broaden and build theory is the opposite, where we have an upward spiral. So we
Yeah.
have one tiny little bit of positive, and then it gets, oh, now I can do something more positive, and it gets bigger and it gets bigger.
Exactly.
And they've actually proven, which is, I just find this phenomenal. They have proven in science that when you're in a positive mindset, your peripheral vision widens. So when we
Wow.
when we actually talk about tunnel vision when we're in a bad mood, it actually exists. So we're talking about the
Yeah.
opposite being the case. When we're feeling good and we're having this confidence, our whole perception widens and we feel incredible, and then we actually can notice more of the good stuff, which is just
Absolutely.
fabulous.
Yeah, it is. Because, I mean, we've all been there, right? The better it gets, the better it gets. I mean, it's really because it's constantly reinforcing itself. It's already good, and it's already amazing. And I think that's why maybe with adding new habits or breaking some really unresourceful habits, maybe start with not the most difficult ones. I think you want to set yourself up for success. You kind of really want to have these victories
Yes.
and celebrate them and be aware of them. So that's why, I don't know, I can't remember, there's this famous speech, I can't remember the name of the American general who, it's all on YouTube, but he said, if you want to change the world, start by making your bed.
Yeah.
Like, start with something simple. Because that's, if again, you'll signal to yourself, this is the bit of positivity. I can do it. I did it. I did it. I did it. I did it. Okay, I can do something else. I did it. I did it. I did it. And then it's like, who at some point, I can do everything.
Yes. And I think that that's what's so nice about this, isn't it? Because we can talk about when we say that the smallest of things where we put ourselves first, even having this solo coffee and being like, I'm having no phone, I'm having, no outside noise. Even if I just did something like that and that was my intention, something like that, something so small, can have such a ripple effect over all parts of your life. It's absolutely amazing, absolutely amazing. And I'm even thinking now, if you when we're looking at that big family to-do list, or the family roles and responsibilities, if your children are old enough, why don't you get them involved and do family habit stacking? Delegate some of those responsibilities to the children and get things off your plate and get them into the routines of, okay, I finish my homework, I put it into my backpack. That's what I do. I don't wait for mum to come and do that for me. Those
Yes.
family habit stacking so that everybody is involved. You can be freed up. So putting that little bit of intention and support to teaching your children something like habit stacking can then make your life a lot easier in the long run.
Absolutely. I think especially with the kids. And I think also one more element I find, like with my kids, make things fun. Like not
Yeah.
like a chore, I don't know, more like a game, because I think we all learn best when there is not to kind of take out the pressure and the seriousness, and it has to be done, like the rigidity, and yeah, having fun and playfulness to all aspects of your life just makes things again way more enjoyable.
Way more easier.
Way more enjoyable.
And I just think that then really, it reduces the decision fatigue, doesn't it? We've got the reward loops, which is amazing. And if we focus on the environmental cues around you, so having it very visible, if you're a very visual person, having the habits there if you need to, doing something that it makes life easier, setting up your environment. If one of the things that you want to do is, I don't know, moisturize your legs more, then, you know,
That's an unusual one,
you know,
but why not?
but you take the moisturizer and you put it next to your bed, and you don't get in bed until it's done. You know, so
Exactly.
you can literally apply it to anything. So you've set up your environment to make it as easy as you possibly can. If you're already in bed and you're like, oh my gosh, now I've got to go to the bathroom to pick up the moisturizer, you're never going to do it. Because you're already there, you're in your comfortable zone, you're ready to sleep. So set up your environment, put the trainers near the door, you know, all
Exactly.
of these things. If that's what you want to do, we've got to set ourselves up for success.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And if you were going to have any personal rituals, Anna, or anything new that you would like to do in your new year, is there anything you want? Have you got any intentions for the next 4 months?
Oh yes, lots of things are happening, lots of ideas and dreams and new standards. But I think so. Yes, if I were to speak about standards, because I decided, yes, I do have my goals, but now I know what I want, and why I want it. But I think now I'm also kind of looking into how am I getting there? Because a lot of us say, okay, this is a goal, and I'll be happy when I get there. But it's always a process. It's like, it's the same if people go on holidays. They don't go on holidays to come back home, because then you don't live to live home,
Yes.
right? What's the point of going on holidays?
Yeah.
So it's a bit the same. So I want things to be easy and more fun.
Yes, I
This
love
is kind of
that.
the feeling more light and knowing it's a process and I want to enjoy it. You know, the building business part, the being there for my kids, and obviously they're in different, you know, they're also changing, but kind of going with the flow, but having really savoring the time, enjoying it, and look, you know, I'll take it all in and savor it when I get there. No, it's the process. So my new standard, I am enjoying the process.
Yeah, I love that.
And
And you'll
it's
have to keep
one
us up to date.
I will keep you up to date. And there is new thing I can share. I've added something to my new routine. Like I've added
Yes.
something to my routine. Hence it's my new routine. So after or during my coffee in the morning, you know, remember how last time I said, even before I get out of bed, I put myself in a positive state, you know, feeling grateful for being alive, for the new day, for everything I have. And then when I have my coffee, um, I, I journal, I write down everything that happened yesterday, and it was wonderful because it puts myself in such a happy, loving, appreciative state that anything I do afterwards, like, okay, it took me yesterday 50 minutes to get back home from my PT session instead of 10 because the school is back on, the traffic is horrendous, but I was still happy for the fact that I was in a car, that I'm driving in Beirut, that the
Yes.
car is comfortable and I can watch the streets and things like that. So once you're in this, hey, I'm happy, you know, you're more in equilibrium and balance and harmony,
Yeah.
and all the encounters you have as a result are way more kind of they maybe you wobble a bit, but they most likely will not knock you down. How about you?
Oh, I have a few things. I think I started the year with the intention of, with the motto of just do it.
Love it. Yeah,
So
just do it.
I started the year with just do it, get yourself out there, start building confidence, and I think I've done pretty well on that intention. I started off with, no posts on Instagram, and I think I'm on 91, I think, right now. So for me,
Yay! Big shout out for
yeah,
Emma.
that was like a massive that was a massive thing, because I promise you, I put starting an Instagram off for at least a year, if not longer. So yeah, my intention at the start of the year was just do it, get on with it, stop putting it off.
Yeah,
And now I think, okay, now is more about just taking a little step back, relaxing into rhythms and routines.
yeah,
So now I'd love to be a little bit more strategic and just a bit more thought through and planned. But because what I was doing in my just do it mode, it kind of sometimes felt a bit
yeah.
frantic, and it felt, and I was just doing it. I was just literally going from one day to another day, and I was getting myself out there, and I was doing everything, and it was. I'm so proud and so grateful for that time. But now it's like, okay, that just firefighting reactive mode isn't sustainable for the long term. So how can I be a bit more sustainable in my approach so that I can do what I love to do for the long time? So
Exactly.
yeah, it's all about just slowing down, trying to create some balance for me right now, and making sustainable long term
I love it
decisions.
because it
Yeah.
is a marathon, right? It's not a sprint.
Yes.
Either it's a family enterprise, this diplomatic lifestyle, or building a business, or doing anything. It's a marathon. You know, you have to kind of show up consistently, and that's why for me it was like, you know, how do I do that
Yeah.
while having fun? And I agree with you. I love it. Like more intentional. At the end of the day, it's like,
Yes.
what is the intention behind that? Like, you know, equal strategy, equal clarity, equal certainty, equal calm. And it's like, okay, I know what I'm doing. I'm not scattered all over the place. I think I'm also, uh, I resonate with what you said a lot because
Yeah.
I also realize, but this is the stage where I'm at as well. But let's give ourselves credit, Emma, and do that.
Yes.
Putting ourselves out there. We started this podcast, episode 7. We are showing up.
Yes.
We are having fun. We are learning. We guys, by the way, we want to deliver value. We want to uplift and empower. And if you have any suggestions, we added a new anonymous survey you can
Yes.
use to ask us anything. We are your 3 a.m. Google or ChatGPT. Nothing is off limits. It's
Yeah.
all anonymous, right?
Oh, completely anonymous.
So, and we'd like to continue, but we'd really like to serve our community. And if you have any ideas on how we can do it better, we're here. We're all ears.
Yes. And it's so nice, isn't it? I just feel like, I mean, yeah, this is the just do it moment. I just remember when we had the conversation, I know, and we were just like having a nice old chat, and I was like, should we just start a podcast? And literally a week later, we were recording. So I was definitely in the just the just do it mode. So it's really nice that we've learned so much over these last 7 episodes, haven't we? And it's been really nice to receive everyone's feedback, and just to, I am a bit obsessive, and I keep refreshing the downloads page probably too often in a day. But I can't even tell you the joy I feel when I see even it go up by one number. But I think we must be now nearly at like 350 downloads or something crazy. So for such a short space of time, thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
And yes, everything that you can put into this also will, yeah, as Anna said, will make a massive difference. So questions, topic ideas, what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see more of, less of, just tell us anything. We're all up for the feedback, and it's just wonderful.
Because at the end of the day, although we love doing that, we enjoy each other's company, but ultimately this is for you guys, right? That's your space. That's the space for our community. And hence, yes, any feedback is really welcome.
Yes. And Anna, if anyone wants to find you, how can they get in contact with you?
Well, Not Just a Spouse is probably the easiest to remember on Instagram, but I'm very active on LinkedIn. I have a website, notjustaspouse.com, and you can find all the information there.
Yes, and it's also in the show notes too. You can find me on Instagram at the Zesty Life, and my email is also in the show notes. And on my Instagram, which maybe I need to put somewhere else, but there is a little website with all the links for the podcast, and there's links for how to have a chat with me and all sorts of things on there. But it's been a pleasure as always, Anna.
It's always so much fun.
Yes.
Talking about fun.
Talking about fun.
And talking about doing. We are doing it and we are having fun.
Yes. So just one last final note from us, just to go away, have a look at your routines, write what's on your mental load, get yourself just really nice and clear, start September with great intention and really mindful, and just really think about what you want for the next few months, because before you know it, December will be here.
Oh my God.
So just if you can't, or you're struggling with this, just imagine yourself in December and how you want to feel, and then work back from there. I think that would be
exactly reverse engineer. And remember, just give yourself grace. It's like everything new. It's kind of learning by doing, right?
Always learning by doing.
The more you do, the better you get. But we are here and we are rooting for you. And yes, reach out if you need any help.
Yes. Thank you so much, Anna. Have a really lovely day, everybody. See you soon.
Bye, everyone. See you.
Bye.